So, Brett, was I bothering you about?
Water.
Hey, Brett, what do you think about selling water in construction bricks?
Have you ever thought about just going out to Death Valley, California, and walking across the desert for about a half kilometer?
I drove through the desert in a supercar. No, I've thought about it. Yeah, I was supposed to buy a mountain bike 10 years ago and travel through the West, but I got into a huge religious argument with my parents' friends, and I couldn't sell my car, so I had no money. And I'm spoiled, so I needed a $1,500 bike. I'm sorry, Mike. Well, I'm just yelling, aren't I? Yell, 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 yell. What about Brett?
What?
So you're going to start buying, I don't know, you probably don't buy bottled water, but you're going to start buying it from us? Every bottle that you buy is like a Lego of this size. Your kid can build a crazy fort, but every one that you buy, we also send one to the fourth world, where they not only have water added to their supply, but when they empty it, they're able to fill it with either dirt, concrete, clay, whatever, and use it to build incredibly resilient structures. Eventually, the skins may be capable, we actually may sell photovoltaic water.
Man, I'll buy some.
Honey,
I don't really buy water.
I told you that ultimately we're going to dig a huge hole in the desert and eat rising ocean levels, right? We're going to put a dam at the coast, and we're going to power a massive hydroelectric dam as the oceans pour into the huge hole that was once the Sahara Desert. Oh, seriously. Problem is, even if you go 100 feet above sea level, you still can't hold enough, even using the whole Sahara's area. You need to stack a massive number of water containers.
How about your boy Plaxico Burress in 2 years?
My boy. I don't think we don't call African Americans boy anymore. I don't think.
Alan couldn't sleep.
2 years, huh?
2 years.
He kind of went downhill. Think about what he's got to think about. Not that he thinks too much, I doubt. Shooting yourself in the leg.
He's got a whole new set of problems. But all over.
So what do you think? Would you buy water that came in a brick? Literally a brick.
Yeah, and how many would you be
Yeah.
able to use? One person.
What about on a rocket?
Yeah.
I
Can
tell
I
you,
reuse the rocket?
oh yeah. So these fountains, these public fountains, I changed the idea. Originally it was called, I told you maybe before, it was called V2O. We come into a city and we build them like a 60-foot tall, scaled up V2 rocket from World War II, and it's a water purifier, and it gives them free water if they're a member of our
Why are you all into water?
water
You think there's
purification
not enough?
union. Water is life, right? I mean, water is our type of life, for the most part.
Yeah, but isn't there enough?
No, because I bought Fiji water here today, and they say Fiji, the nation, actually has a water shortage.
What change?
Fiji. They say they don't get enough natural water, and they're draining, they're lowering their reserves to sell this water, but they're spending the money doing things which are not as valuable in the long run as maintaining their water, their fresh water. And they're in the middle of the ocean. They don't have an unlimited supply of fresh water. I said supply.
With all that money, they could buy desalination.
Yeah, great. So they can have shit
Or they
water.
could buy your bricks.
I mean, actually, selling ocean water. Shouldn't there be an ocean? There should be an ocean water corporation.
What's that?
Ocean water.
What about it?
What does it actually cost to desalinate this off the coast of New York and completely purify it? Much
That
less than
much?
this.
No.
Much less than this.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great way to raise huge sums of money, and I think we can actually build.
It's actually a good idea to desalinate water and sell it in a place like
Because it's already expensive. But especially if you have a great system, especially if you're desalinating it in some local monument that people are in love with.
Well, like all these big ships and shit, they all have
Speaking of ships,
the ability to desalinate.
our ship, with which we ship the water, is actually a giant backbone, nothing else. And these bottles all attached to one another. The ship is actually made out of the bottles themselves. Each ship is made out of 0.7 billion bottles. And when you get there, it's just taken apart and reassembled into a permanent structure. When people get a ship of water from us, they get slightly unfucked.
Sell, what the hell does that mean? Sell.
take the salt out of.
Well, that's what we did on our ship. Every harbor we were in, all through Asia, Far East, Hawaii, everywhere
See, if we built a large enough, what?
except one harbor, so filthy that
Couldn't even do it.
they wouldn't. They
Couldn't you just take it while you were out on the ocean? Just scoop up a small
We were
amount?
in harbor, we were anchored.
Like I would do. But I'm saying when you were out in the ocean, I would just catch spray. I'd catch ocean spray.
Well, no, we made it all the time. But the one you never guess the city. It's in Asia. It was so filthy that we had water hours. What I guess what city it is?
What?
Asia.
Asia? What?
What city?
Tokyo? I don't know. No. It's Bangladesh.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong? I don't know.
At that time.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they had thousands of people living.
Thousands?
No, they did.
Millions.
Boat people.
Oh, in that one.
They actually lived at that.
On the river.
They lived in the harbor.
Dumping.
They were born there. They raised their
Poop
children.
there.
Yeah. They shipped. They put their human waste, garbage. So I said, no water. So we had one. We drank beer.
Beer is gross.
No, we
So
had
Brett-
water hours.
Brett, you like the ship of aqua bricks?
You saw it.
I was just saying you just throw them in a friggin' net and drag them across the ocean, but with a sailboat. It takes 4 months to get there, 5 months to get there, but there's no fuel cost, you know? It's a robotic sailboat pulling 1 billion water bottles that are floating. It's like Kramer with his bags that held oil inside of a tanker. I mean, I know you're gonna get some. You end up with extra drag if
You know when they start? Who discovered desalinating when a ship first started doing it? They
No.
couldn't do it in the old days.
well, like you said, it's by evaporation is one of the great ways.
What was the first?
Oh, first person to take salt out of water?
Who discovered it? So ship could see. Do you know that?
Edward desalination.
I just wondered, because I never thought about who invented that process.
Francois desalination.
But back in the 1800s.
Who knows? I think if Da Vinci wasn't so busy looking at so many other things that hadn't been discovered, he probably would have looked at water and figured it out. Problem is, here's the biggest problem in history. We have Da Vinci's are 1 in a billion instead of 1 in a million. Not even 1 in a billion. They're like 1 in 3 billion instead of 1 in 3 million. We're missing 1,000 times as many Da Vinci's as we need. People are that smart. There are minds that are just. I mean, a mind in general is a diamond.
Yeah, that's true.
You grow it up in this society and it becomes numb. You know? Put up walls to keep things out. People forget. It blinds your mind's eye. I mean, there might be a painting there, you know, you might be able to explain this beautiful story of your life, but
Right.
real life, real existence isn't explicable like that. Art is garbage. Cheers.
Leonardo.
So how many water ideas do we have? We have quite a few. I think I need something even bigger and better. You want to know when I'm building all these spheres, when I'm blowing up these giant glass structures like bongs, right? Huge greenhouses made of actual glass, blown up like a bong in a big factory, you know, with a huge global mold. The mold itself is held by a magnet. And once the glass is injected, it spins inside of a magnet using power from the sun, massive solar power, and it forms a perfectly uniform sphere, which is then pushed out the door of the factory. Now, that easily can grow plants. About 1,000 plants can grow in the rooftop, and they shade you from the sun. I don't know if you may not actually end up doing as much desalination this way, because you will, but the water that you desalinate will flow into the hydroponic system. As it sweats and as the water separates by evaporation, it will be collected and sent into the hydroponic. So all the water will go into the plants that you grow inside of your own homes. By integrating a greenhouse and a home together, you can do amazing, amazing things.
I was just saying that.
Right, Brett? Right, Brett? Hey, Brett, I gave you a cigarette. You have to talk to me for at least 5 more minutes. You know what the name is, right? For now, I'll just give you the name. The name is Greenhouse Sphere. I think I may have bought greenhousesphere.com.
Oh, Mamma Mia.
What do people normally have inside their house? Get some construction worker putting, some weird hanging roof? I mean, what the fuck? I'm saying if I'm going to have lights in my house, I'm going to have plant lights, and the entire surface above me is going to be growing. And I'm going to get my light refracted off the leaves of plants. Inside will be green, too.
inside green.
Even in the winter, the lights that I'm using will be, I'll get incidental lighting because I live in a greenhouse. The plant lights that are operating in the winter will also light and heat my place. One light, illumination, plant growth, and heat. They're hot lights. They actually warm your entire house.